Right, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation that started off with a mother posting a video talking about how she bought cupcakes for her son for his birthday, and it actually ended up in this big back and forth situation, drama, whatever you want to call it, between the mother and another TikToker. Now, there's two main people you need to be aware of here, the first one being a user called Exploring Jade, and the second person being a user called Neurodivergent Nate. Now, it all started when Jade uploaded a video talking about how she used an EBT card to pay for some cupcakes for her son's birthday, specifically cupcakes that he could take to his ABA therapy. Now, for people watching this video who are not from America, EBT stands for Electronic Benefit Transfer. In this case specifically, we're talking about SNAP, which is like food benefits, and the way I understand it is that you get an EBT card and you can buy food with the card, right? It's for people who are in like low income homes, or also for like the elderly, for people who are disabled. And in Jade's case, which she openly says in a bunch of videos, and it's important to this situation for it to kind of all make sense, in Jade's case, she's a mother who works 2 jobs, has 2 children, one is autistic, and her husband is a veteran who is disabled and is currently waiting for surgery. And recently, Jade uploaded this video talking about her son's birthday.
FYP check, how do you feel about the fact that yesterday we spent $27 to buy cupcakes for our son with our EBT so we could send them with him today to his ABA therapy office since his birthday's tomorrow?
And that was it. That's the whole video, and for the most part, it got a very positive reaction. And in fact, the only negative comments I can really see is people questioning, like, why she had so many tattoos and piercings, because that would be expensive, to which Jade has mentioned in videos before, like, they're not fresh, like, they're not recent. But yeah, like I said, the vast majority of the responses were very positive. Like, for example, there's a video here from a user called Sujia, who uploaded this video.
Me? You want to know how I feel about knowing that some of my tax dollars went towards your son's birthday cupcakes? Cupcakes that he took to his ABA therapy so that he could celebrate himself and have other people celebrate him on his birthday? How do I feel about that? I feel fucking great about it. I feel amazing about that, because I wouldn't want to deprive any child of something like that. I wouldn't want to deprive any child of being able to feel included and proud and celebratory of themselves. And I know how intertwined food and those kinds of milestones can be.
And there was a bunch more videos like that one responding to Jade's video. Now, one other user who responded to Jade's video is Neurodivergent Nate, who I mentioned earlier. Except Nate's response was very different, and he says it's things like this that makes him glad that EBT gets cut off in November.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right, okay? $27 worth of cupcakes, I'm gonna argue you can buy flour, brown sugar, eggs, and butter to make that all at home for significantly less than $27.
And in fact, he even goes as far to claim that Jade's video is rage bait, like she's doing it on purpose to piss people off, which, I mean, I don't really see how that works because, I mean, as we've seen, the vast majority of people weren't pissed off, they were supporting it. And in fact, Nate actually goes on to say that he's mad that his tax money went to these cupcakes.
And she does this for rage bait. She starts her video off by saying, FYP check, how do you feel that I used my EBT to buy $27 worth of cupcakes? And everyone's like, I'm mad that you had to spend $27 on cupcakes. I'm mad because you used taxpayer money to buy something that is not nutritionally beneficial to your child. Like, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Even when I worked for Head Start, if you wanted to bring something for your child's birthday, it had to be healthy. And there was a list of nutritionally approved snacks that you can bring. And that's what you should have done for your kid. Honestly, be so for real.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say, this video from Nate definitely didn't get the reaction that I assumed he was expecting. It actually resulted in a bunch of response videos. I mean, we have an example here from a user called Jaxie Cole Mum Life. And yeah, I think it's fair to say, she absolutely disagrees with Nate's video.
It doesn't matter. EBT is for food. She used food. And then you go on in the video and say, well, why didn't she just buy the ingredients? Why does it matter? She bought store-bought cupcakes. As an autism mom, we don't know what type of battle that woman is fighting. We don't know what that woman is going through day in and day out with her child. She made an executive decision for her child to celebrate her child's birthday, and you want to sit here and make a think piece on why this is not what food stamps is supposed to be used for. Why not?
And then Nicole goes on to say what a lot of people are saying is the fact that, like, her child is happy. This is making a child happy. Like, why do you not want that?
Why do y'all hate kids so much? The kid is happy. I'm sure her child and her child's friends at ABA are happy. Y'all want to see children hungry and miserable. For what? It's her child's birthday. She bought cupcakes. So what? So what? Did your mother not love you enough? I'm so sorry that you are offended by a mother using her food stamps to buy cupcakes for her autistic child. What? Touch grass immediately.
And in fact, Jade, the mum who made the original video, actually ended up responding herself. And she starts off the video by questioning, like, why Nate wants to make her life harder, like, bearing in mind her situation.
Hey Nate, it's the mom that spent $27 on cupcakes for her autistic son to take to ABA therapy with him. Since you felt compelled to come on your page and tell your almost 500,000 followers your opinion on our life, knowing damn well that your little minions would run to my page spewing nothing but hate as they have, you made the conscious decision to have a working mother of two, one who is autistic, with a veteran husband who is disabled and preparing for surgery due to a service-related injury he has, and make our lives harder by having hate being spewed our way because we chose to sacrifice $27 that we could have used for food for ourselves. Yes, see, we chose to go without food for a couple of days. So that way we could have that money to give our son a special moment. If you had watched any of the other videos in that playlist, and there's about 40 plus of them, you would have known any of this information that I am now sharing with you.
Yeah, so at this point in the video, Jade actually mentions that she has a playlist on her TikTok account. It's called, let's actually have the proper name here. It's a playlist called EBT Chronicles. It's got over 100 videos now at this point, kind of like documenting her life, and specifically stuff around like the EBT. And Jade actually goes on to say, like, if you watch through some of them videos, you would understand her situation.
If you had went to my profile and watched my pinned videos, you would have saw the one where I discussed about how my man was wrongfully terminated August 1st, and we're still actively looking for a lawyer to fight that. You would have also seen the video I posted in September where I discussed how I had my doctor put me back on phentermine, an appetite suppressant, so I could get away with eating around 600 calories a day. I eat a couple bites here and there, but I can't even stomach one full meal because of the medication I'm on, which allows me to allocate more food for my children. I have quite literally been starving myself, and since my man's wrongful termination, I have been down 20 pounds. You decided to use us as your argument as to why you support the abolishment of social programs such as SNAP, because we misappropriate the funds. Accused me of using our situation as rage bait, when had you watched any of the other videos, you would know that I was using our personal situation as a way to garner public perspective, to start a conversation. And there's actually been many people who I triggered with that video at first, and then after a conversation, were able to garner new information, set their ego aside, say I was wrong, apologize, and then change their perspective based off of the new information they acquired.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably think after seeing this video, like if you're Nate in this situation, you might think, oh, okay, right, maybe I've like overstepped the mark here, right? Clearly Jade has a lot of battles that she's fighting in her life, right? I mean, I can't imagine like the strength it would take to even go through all of the stuff that she's mentioning. But as we'll actually see when we get to Nate's response to all of this, he really is like doubling down on everything, and in fact, it takes it quite a bit of a step further. But before we do actually get to that response, let's just see the end of this video from Jade, where she actually talks about how Nate is like punching down, and then goes on to talk about other things that she has to pay for, like medical bills.
With the punches life has been throwing at us. And here you are, a creator with 500,000 followers almost, punching down on us, saying that a working mother, a disabled veteran, who have an autistic child, along with a second child, who needed a little help with groceries so they could allocate the funds that they do have access to other things, like our normal expenses that everyone has, you know, rent, utilities, that kind of thing. But did you ever stop to consider the fact that considering we have a disabled child, we have a lot of medical bills that we have to pay? Even when we had private insurance and we're paying $400 every 2 weeks for that private insurance, our son still had a daily copay of $30, meaning we had a weekly payment of $150 we had to pay to his ABA therapy alone. That doesn't include the almost $500 we pay a month for his chiropractor care. I also received chiropractic care, which is an additional almost $500, all of which we pay out of pocket for of our taxed income.
Now, looking at the comments of this video, Jade got a lot of support. I mean, most of the comments are saying stuff like, girl, fuck him, celebrate your baby, you did nothing wrong. Imagine being mad that a kid got a cupcakes on his birthday, couldn't be me. Yeah, every kid wants a pile of carrots for their birthday instead of cupcakes with their buddies. This is obviously in response to Nate saying that it should have been used for something healthy. Now, another video that Jade uploaded kind of surrounding this situation, and it does get mentioned in Nate's video, which is kind of why I'm showing this here. It's just a video that has a caption saying, since Neurodivergent Nate wants to monetize with me and not tag me, I figured I'll monetize with him so I can buy my kid more cupcakes. And in this video, Jade shows that she takes like a snippet out of Nate's video and turns it into a song.
Honestly, be so for real. Honestly, be so for real. Honestly, be so for real. Honestly.
And now it's at this point that Nate actually responds, and he starts off the video by saying that Jade is obsessed with him, and then talks about the song.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 on Cupcake for her autistic son's birthday is truly obsessed with me. She made this remix music soundbite of me saying, honestly, be so for real. Honestly, be so for real. Honestly, be so for real.
And then Nate actually goes on to respond to other people that have made videos about him, and basically responds by just kind of insulting their appearance.
To the 50 people that have made videos about me, I was actually too busy doing my dissertation for my PhD to watch your videos. Additionally, I don't listen to people that look like they need Ozempic, that look like they need to go to the dentist, the orthodontist, like they look like they need to see the dermatologist. So, sorry, even if I did watch your videos all the way through, I wasn't going to even take your advice. I said what I said. Did I stutter? Honestly, be so for real.
Actually, I've only just realised that honestly be so for real thing with the hand. That's something that he clearly does at the end of all his videos. That's how he signs it off. So it's like an emote, I guess. Very interesting. To be fair, I actually used to do something very similar with my hand, so I can't really say much. Now, looking at the comment section on this video, it is very different to what we saw on Jade's video. Obviously, the comments were very positive in support of Jade. The comments in this video aren't exactly in favour of Nate. I mean, there's a lot of comments like this one saying, I'm just wondering what the big deal is. He deserves a birthday as well. I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. What kind of human gets upset that a less fortunate mother spent $27 on cupcakes for her special needs son and their classmates? Genuinely, what's wrong with her buying cupcakes? Like, I don't understand in what ways, like, anything bad or weird. And this did actually result in one other response video from Nate. It is just kind of like a picture of some text on screen, and it says, not to flex, but I can afford $27 worth of cupcakes for my nephew without EBT. Which to me basically reads like he's just laughing at people who don't have as much money as him. And that's kind of where we're at the situation. I'm not sure if there's going to be any further update. I mean, Nate's last video that we just watched was 6 days ago as I'm recording this. So it seems like he's kind of stopped speaking about it. I'm not sure, but either way, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about. Who do you think's in the right? Who do you think's in the wrong? All that stuff. Just let me know all your thoughts down below. Also, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.